Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to a little locker room coaching session. Today I was hitting chest and I was doing my flies and I realized that there's a lot of difference between a decline fly where you're bringing it down low, an incline, and kind of a regular fly. There's a lot of different variations and I feel like each one is almost like its entire different exercise. So today I want to tell you guys about decline flies, and these are my absolute favorite exercise when it comes to finishing off the chest, getting a good pump. I can always get a good pump with these. All right, so with your cables set up, probably about 2 spots above where your shoulder joint is, that's where you want to click your cables into. Grab the cable handles, and a trick I like to do is basically with your thumb and your finger, make your forefinger, your index finger, make a circle, right? That's where you're squeezing from. Everything else is kind of an accessory finger, right? So find that position with your circles, squeeze really tight, then squeeze with the rest of your hand. Now, you're set up to actually pull down. For me, when I use that index finger and that thumb, I feel like I'm squeezing my chest a lot more. Step forward, away from the machines, about 1 foot or 2. You want the weights on each side of the stack to come off of the stack, just about 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, but you never want those weights to slam down onto the rack while you're doing the flies. So you should be forward enough that they never touch the rack against the stack, because that can actually cause injury. That sudden stopping of momentum and motion, it's bad for your body. So step away from the rack a little bit. Now you're set up for it. Kick your chest up, try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, squeeze your abs, your glutes, keep everything really tight. I like to stagger step, my left foot forward, and then on the next set, I'll do my right foot forward. That way you can keep the weight from pulling your actual body backwards. And now you're just going to bring your hands down. So they're gonna end up right in front of your pelvis. And the thought here is to think about pulling your elbows together, not your hands together. When you pull your hands together, you end up doing a lot of movement. You end up using a lot of your biceps, triceps, etc., etc. If you think about just pulling your elbows down and your arms are just held in a tight angled position, then you're gonna be able to contract your chest a lot more. So what you wanna do is find a slight bend in your arm, keep that bend in the arm, grab those cables, and keep that bend as you come down, squeezing your elbows together in your mind. When you come to the bottom of the movement, one of the things that has helped me the most with decline flies, this is not the same for all the flies, but the decline flies, when you come down to the bottom of the movement, twist your hand a little bit so that your pinky is coming in towards the midline of your chest. When you do that, I don't know why exactly the reason is, but for me, I can get such a strong contraction in my chest, and it actually helps me activate the upper part of my chest. Another thing that helps me a lot with contracting the upper part of your chest, the part that makes you look like you have a barrel chest, a big, burly chest, is when you come down to the bottom of the movement, a lot of people will just come straight down, right down to their hips. The handles will almost be touching their hips. You wanna come down, and as you're coming down towards your hips, move forward a little bit. Move your hands, the cables, and your elbows forward a little bit. You're driving forward just a little bit. Maybe about, I would say about 4 to 6 inches in front of your hips, and by doing that, you're gonna activate your upper chest. As you do that, as you come forward while you're coming down, also twist your humerus, your elbow. Twist your elbow just a little bit inwards, just like your pinkies. I was telling you to twist inwards. Twist your elbows inwards as well, so that at the bottom of the movement, your elbows are twisted all the way in, your pinkies twisted all the way in, and you're having a squeeze in your chest. At the bottom of the movement, squeeze for about 1 second or 2 seconds. Stop the momentum, feel your chest squeeze, fill up with blood, and then as you try to hold, basically you try to hold the most muscular pose. You know, you're just using weights while you're doing the most muscular pose. As you're at the bottom, try to hold that most muscular pose. This is the most important thing. Try to hold that most muscular pose, and then let the weights up as you're still holding the pose. I'm still holding the exact same pose right here, but the weights are just coming up. Still holding it, still holding it, still holding it. Now I'm at the top of the movement, and then I push as hard as I can right back into this same exact pose. Try to be a machine about this. Find that pose in the beginning, feel it, and then let yourself go up and come right back into the exact same pose. No matter how fatigued you are, always come right back to the same pose. Same pose, same pose, even if you get fatigued, and that's gonna help you get an exact same pump. Every time you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable with the fly and actually using it as a chest exercise. You're gonna feel a lot more comfortable with actually connecting with your mind, your muscle, and the whole connection with getting your chest a good pump. You're gonna love it so much. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I personally think there's such a big difference between decline regular and incline flies, so I wanted to go through the decline flies with you guys, kind of give you my ideas of what I like to think about when I'm doing this, give you some tips and whatnot. I would love to hear, though, what your tips, what your ideas are, what your strategies are with any of the flies, so please leave those in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm flipping out on pre-workout. I just finished chest. I'm gonna go have some Chipotle. Team Beyond the Week, CT.
Lift heavy or die, MIRIN, motherfucker.